Community members in Santa Maria will also be gathering for the No Kings rally at East Main and South Broadway from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday. Organizers say the Santa Maria rally continues recent local protests against a proposed immigrant processing center and student-led marches asking for protective zones.
Here in Santa Maria, we are expecting 2,000, double what we had in June at No Kings 1. And there will be similar rallies all over the Tri-Counties.
The last No Kings rally took place on June 14th and drew more than 5 million people from more than 2,100 cities nationwide.
An opportunity for bars, restaurants, and hotels to get more business. I'm Dylan Foreman, your community reporter, following up on legislation that will now add 10 new liquor licenses to San Luis Obispo County beginning in 2026. In May, I told you about Assembly Bill 1008, proposed by Assemblymember Don Addis, aimed to bring 10 liquor licenses to SLO County. Last week, that bill was signed by Governor Gavin Newsom and goes into law next year.
It really is time to help our local businesses access new licenses.
Despite their strong tourism presence in the region, the county was not issued any new liquor licenses this past August and haven't seen any new ones issued at all since 2014 due to a lack of population changes. But now, Mirazur restaurant owner Alejandro Flores says he's excited for an opportunity to receive new liquor licenses.
At some businesses along the coast or closer to where you have mostly tourists have a chance at these, like us.
The license allows for restaurants like Mirazur and Los Osos to offer a cocktail menu, something that only a few places in the unincorporated community have.
Only add more revenue, and we'd be able to add more jobs. We'd have more bartenders, maybe more servers.
Assemblymember Addis also explained that the additional 10 licenses will help hurting industries.
These licenses locally will allow more businesses to buy locally when it comes to the alcohol industry and therefore help our local wine industry.
The transferable licenses that currently exist can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars for business owners, but AB 1008 makes it so that if the licenses ever changed owners, they'd be the same price. Next year, 5 new licenses will be introduced, followed by the other 5 in 2027.
It makes everybody happy, but does this in a way that is respectful, doesn't flood the market with alcohol licenses, does this in a measured way that is good for business in general.
The next liquor license drawing won't be until fall of 2026. If the number of applicants exceeds the number of licenses available, it will go to a random drawing. This year's license fee was just over $19,000. In Los Osos, Dylan Foreman, KSBY News.
It's been a beautiful day all across the Central Coast. Even towards the end of the day as the sun was going down, it was picture perfect. Check out this image from Pismo Beach just a little bit earlier today. Perfect cotton candy skies, and lots of those surfers finally getting back in the water and enjoying it, seeing some really great conditions out there. Now, it was a little bit gusty today, so that was maybe not the most perfect part of it, but on the whole, we had great weather today. Now, as we head into the overnight hours, it's going to get a little bit on the cold side. We're already seeing a few 40s pop up. Those will become a little bit more widespread through the overnight hours, but we are heading into that season where it's going to be a little bit cooler in the overnights. About 52 degrees right now in Paso Robles, Santa Maria, Lompoc, and San Ynez. A little bit warmer in both San Luis Obispo and along our south coast. 55 in Santa Barbara, 59 in Isla Vista. The slightly warmer conditions is actually because of the winds, because it's still quite warm. Some compressional heating still going on, not keeping us warm per se, but slightly warmer than it would be without those winds. 23 miles an hour with that offshore direction right now in San Luis Obispo. Everywhere else relatively calm, but those higher elevations definitely feeling those windy conditions tonight. And with those gusts is going to come a little bit more of those concerns tomorrow as well. And that's exactly what we're going to be seeing, but that's kind of it. Other than that, we've got 2 big high pressure systems that are headed towards the Central Coast. A little bit of cloud cover also headed our way. I'll let you know exactly what that means for our weekend ahead. Plus, I'll let you know how much longer we're going to be seeing these strong winds coming up in just a few minutes.
Today, people from around California came to San Luis Obispo for the annual California Main Street Conference. California Main Street Network is made up of 32 different California communities who study streetscape in downtown areas. According to Brooke Fox, the state coordinator for the network, Downtown SLO is one of the accredited members, essentially meaning that the city has put in the effort to revitalize its downtown.
They all have different things to offer. They all have different success stories and assets and attributes. So what you will find special and unique about visiting in SLO, you're going to find something completely different about visiting Carlsbad or visiting Paso Robles.
During today's event, network members also took it as an opportunity to learn more about operations within our downtown farmers market.
Many Central Coast schools are focusing on earthquake preparedness this week. I'm your community reporter, Izzy Romero. Coming up, what's involved in this school-wide drill and why educators tell me it's so important.
We're watching KSBY, part of the Scripps News Group.
Rock legend Ace Frehley, the guitarist for Kiss, has died at 74. According to Frehley's family, he passed away today after a recent fall at his home. In 1973, Frehley co-founded Kiss and became famous for his spaceman persona. He then left the group in the early 1980s, but continued to successfully launch his solo career. In 2014, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with Kiss.
Thursday morning, students here at Winifred Pfeiffer Elementary are hitting the ground as part of the California Great Shakeout Drill. I'm your Paso Robles community reporter, Izzy Romero, and I got an inside look at how local schools are preparing for the unexpected. On Thursday mornings, these third graders are usually in the middle of a peaceful lesson, but this week they had a unique disruption.
This is an earthquake drill. This is an earthquake drill.
Get under the table. Don't worry about the chair. Hold on to the table bar and put one hand over your head so if something claps, you won't get your head hurt.
October 16th at 10:16 a.m. marks the California Great Shakeout Drill, where schools all over California reenact what to do in case of an earthquake. I stopped by Winifred Pfeiffer Elementary School to see how the Paso Robles Joint Unified School District is preparing students for the worst.
The Great Shakeout is the one drill that we do that is district-wide, so every site and every workplace in our district is involved.
School principal Holly Moore tells me that the drill is meant to feel as realistic as possible for students and staff.
Everybody has a role, be it search and rescue or on various teams or supervising students. Everybody's role is very intricate.
And while I'm told the elementary school does 2 emergency drills a month, planning for this one starts months in advance.
We just want to make sure that everybody's prepared for what hopefully will never happen.
Rachel Gustafson, coordinator of student services for the Paso Robles Joint Unified School District, added that the large-scale drill helps identify any solvable discrepancies in case of a real emergency.
The California Shakeout is really important in the area that we live in, especially with the risk of earthquakes and it being in a real scenario that we practice frequently, so that all of our staff and all of our students are aware of how to respond and develop that working memory of what to do in a real situation.
All this work is done to ensure that the important life-saving actions stick with students.
I just want to say be careful when there's an earthquake.
In Paso Robles, Izzy Romero, KSBY News.
All really good things to remember there, and even on days where we've got really great weather like today, we're still not that far back from what we saw on Monday night with all of those alerts going through our heads too. So definitely a good time to just refresh yourself on what to do in an emergency and then get outside and enjoy the next couple days because it's going to be beautiful. Here's a quick look at what we saw earlier today out there in Pismo Beach. A few of those surfers catching a wave, beautiful clear skies, not a cloud in the sky for the evening. But check this out, because we saw so much rain just a couple days ago, you can still see a lot of that water trying to make its way out of the lagoon by Pismo Beach. So definitely still something we're seeing the impacts of, but now we're heading into a very different pattern. Lots of sunshine is headed our way, and it's going to be a pretty nice one. Now, as we head through the next couple of days, we're going to be seeing warm afternoon temperatures, a little bit cooler in the overnight hours, though. Today, we got up to 76 degrees in San Luis Obispo. That was about 11 degrees warmer than it was just 24 hours ago. 77 in San Ynez, 63 degrees up in Cambria, 72 in Santa Barbara. Definitely warmer than our daytime highs just a day ago, but now we're going to be seeing an even warmer pattern setup as we head into Friday. We just got to get through some cooler conditions overnight first. 52 right now in Paso Robles, Santa Ynez, and Lompoc, 54 in Santa Barbara. There's one temperature, though, that kind of stands out on this graph to me, and that is the San Luis Obispo temperature. Actually warmer than what I said just a couple of minutes ago for the same reason. We've got those strong winds bringing in a little bit of compressional heating and keeping us pretty mild, actually pretty warm in San Luis Obispo, at least compared to what we're seeing elsewhere. Right now, 22 miles an hour with those wind gusts, and the tricky part is that they're coming offshore. So they're taking that already quite dry air, taking it over those higher elevations where any water kind of evaporates out of it, and then it's compressed down as we head over the Cuesta Ridge. It's compressed down towards sea level, and with the additional weight of the atmosphere, by the time you get to sea level, it compresses that air enough to really warm it up, and even though it's just 22 miles an hour, it really starts to heat up those temperatures pretty dramatically. That's what we're going to be seeing over the next couple days as well. Tomorrow, 80 degrees up in Paso Robles, so nice and warm there. 79 in San Luis Obispo. Now, I debated this number quite a bit earlier on today because we could see a pretty significant warm up for just a couple minutes here or there with those strong offshore winds. But I think on the whole, most temperatures are going to be in the upper 70s for the heat of the day. 78 in Santa Maria and Lompoc, 76 in Santa Barbara. Winds are definitely mean some changes going on there, but it's still going to be really comfortable, even warm down by our beaches. 70 in San Simeon, 74 in Morro Bay, 78 in Avila Beach. Definitely going to be a good day to head down to those beaches. Rio Grande at 76, 75 in Shannon, 76 in Los Osos, and along our south coast, comfortable as well. Goleta at 76, in the 80s in San Ynez and Solvay. Then as we head into the weekend, it's going to be a great